Welcome back to the deep dive. We have a really interesting stack of documents today because it feels like we're standing right on the edge of a massive shift. You know how for the last, year, maybe 18 months, the whole world has been absolutely obsessed with generative AI.
It's been the only topic of conversation. Look at this poem the bot wrote, or
Check out this image.
can you believe it passed the
Yeah,
bar exam?
exactly. It was the novelty phase. It was the, look what I can make it say phase. But the materials we're diving into today suggest that the party trick era is officially over. We're moving into something they're calling the Agentforce era. And honestly, it makes the chatbot stuff look like a worn-up act.
It really does. We're seeing a hard pivot from generative to agentic, and
Yeah.
that is a distinction we need to nail down right at the top because it changes everything about how we work. We aren't just talking about AI that talks to you anymore. We're talking about AI that acts for you.
So to guide us through this new landscape, we're doing a deep dive into Trailhead. Now, on the surface, Trailhead is Salesforce's learning platform. They pitch it as the fun way to learn. Well, but our mission today is to look past the marketing slogan and figure out the mechanics. How does a normal person, whether you're a total newbie or, a coding wizard, actually skill up for a world where AI doesn't just write emails, but actually does the work?
And specifically, we're unpacking this concept they introduced called becoming an agent blazer.
Agent Blazer. I have to admit, when I first read that in the source material, I rolled my eyes a little. It sounds a bit like a superhero from a Saturday morning cartoon.
It does have that flair, doesn't it? But if you strip away the branding, the implications are deadly serious. We're talking about the difference between being a passive user of technology and being the person who, builds the future of it. And according to these documents, the barrier to entry for that role is collapsing.
Okay, so before we get into the how, the gamification, the ranks, the legend status, we have to mention something timely. The source material flags that TDX registration is currently open.
Right, that's their big developer conference.
And usually these things are pricey, but the source highlights a limited time incentive, a $600 saving. They're framing this as a must-attend event, not just to watch keynotes, but to get hands-on. So if you're listening to this and you're the type who learns by doing, that opportunity is on the table right now.
What strikes me about that, though, isn't just the discount. It's who they're inviting. Usually, developer conference implies you need a computer science degree just to get through the door. But looking at Trailhead, and by extension TDX, the focus is on the democratization of these skills. The text explicitly says, learn in-demand skills for free. That is a very aggressive value proposition.
It is. And for me, looking at the platform itself, it's the gamification that hooks you. I'm a sucker for a progress bar. If you give me a badge for learning something, I'll stay up all night. But let's back up to that core concept. Agentforce. Why is the source material placing so much weight on this term? What makes an agent different from the AI tools we've been using?
This is the crux of the whole deep dive. Up until now, we've mostly had AI assistants. You ask a question, it gives an answer, it's passive. The Agentforce era is about autonomous agents. The text defines this as hands-on experience building intuitive AI agents.
Building intuitive agents. Okay, so practically speaking, what does that mean?
It means software that has agency. The source breaks it down into 3 promises. First, these agents handle everyday tasks. Second, they enhance the customer experience. And third, they create tangible business impact.
Let's look at that first one, handling everyday tasks. We're talking about like scheduling meetings.
That's the low-hanging fruit. But think bigger. Think about workflows. Instead of you manually copying data from an email, pasting it into a spreadsheet, and then updating a CRM record, an agent observes the trigger and executes the entire chain. It's not just helping you write, it's taking the boring stuff completely off your plate.
That's the dream, isn't it? But here's the friction point for me. If the agents are doing the work, what happens to the people who used to do the work?
That is exactly why the concept of the agent blazer is so critical. The source material doesn't present this as robots replacing humans. It presents it as a shift in roles. They define an agent blazer as someone with the skills and the vision to transform how work gets done.
Transform how work gets done. That's a heavy phrase.
It is. It suggests we're moving from a workforce of doers to a workforce of architects. An agent blazer isn't the cog in the machine anymore. They're the person looking at the machine, understanding the business need, and saying, I can build an agent to solve this. They're leveraging Agentforce to turn a vision into reality.
So you're not just a user, you're an active builder.
Precisely. You're the conductor of the orchestra. And the source makes it clear. Companies need these people. This isn't a nice-to-have skill set. In an economy that's trying to figure out AI, being the person who can actually implement it is a massive career differentiator.
Okay, I'm listening. I
Yeah.
want to be an architect. I want to be an agent blazer. But then reality hits. I don't know Python. I don't know how to code complex algorithms. Learning AI feels like staring up at Mount Everest in flip-flops.
Hmm.
How does Trailhead actually bridge that gap?
This is where their methodology is quite clever. It seems to rest on two pillars: experiential learning and gamification.
Let's break those down. Experiential first.
The source emphasizes hands-on experience. This is crucial. Most online learning is passive. You watch a video, you take a multiple-choice quiz, you forget everything in a week. Trailhead is different. You're interacting with the actual Salesforce products and AI agent technology.
So they give you a sandbox.
Exactly. You're building things in a safe environment. You can't break the company database, but you're using the real tools. It turns abstract concepts into muscle memory.
That's huge. Yeah, you can read about swimming all day, but until you get in the water, you're not a swimmer.
And to keep you in the water, they use that second pillar: gamification.
My favorite part.
It works. The source details how you get rewarded with points and badges when you learn new skills. But it's not just a chaotic pile of badges. They have a structured hierarchy. You climb the trailblazer ranks.
And looking at the documents, specifically for Agentforce, there's a very clear path. They talk about the journey to earn Agent Blazer status, and the progression goes from champion to legend.
From champion to legend.
I mean, come on, who doesn't want to update their LinkedIn headline to legend? It's catchy.
It is catchy, but it also solves a problem. Learning a new technology is lonely and often frustrating. By giving you these milestones, okay, I'm a ranger now, next stop is all-star, it taps into that psychological need for progress. It validates that you're moving forward even when the material gets tough.
Speaking of the material getting tough, what if I'm already an expert? Or conversely, what if I literally just open my laptop for the first time? Does the platform treat us the same?
No, and that's a key feature mentioned in the text. It describes content for all levels. Whether you are brand new to Salesforce or a seasoned pro, the platform adapts.
I doesn't know what I need.
They mention AI-powered recommendations and guided pathways. So ironically, the AI is helping you learn how to build the AI. If you're a beginner, it's not going to throw you into the deep end of API integrations. It's going to start with the basics of what an agent is. If you're a pro, it fast-tracks you to the complex stuff. It creates a personalized learning journey.
I like that. It's not one size fits all. Okay, so we have the platform, Trailhead. We have the goal. Become an agent blazer. We know it's hands-on. But I'm always a bit skeptical of marketing. It's easy to say, transform your career, but are actual human beings doing this? Or is it just a theoretical ideal?
That is always the critical question. Fortunately, the source provides us with voices from the field, real-world success stories, and I think analyzing these gives us a much better picture of what this looks like in practice.
Let's walk through them. First up, we have Aaron McGriff. He's a senior administrator at IBM.
Right. Now, context matters here. IBM is massive. It's complex. Being an admin there requires serious rigor. What's interesting about Aaron's testimony is that he calls Trailhead his go-to resource specifically for Agentforce.
And what's he actually getting out of it? Is he just collecting badges?
No, he specifically mentions learning skills to improve efficiency and deliver better customer satisfaction with AI agents.
So that ties back to those promises we talked about earlier. He's taking the boring stuff, the inefficiencies, and using agents to smooth them out.
Exactly. He's not learning for the sake of learning. He's learning to solve business problems at an enterprise scale.
Then we have Zarina Varley-Scott. She's an associate Salesforce consultant at Brightmark. Her story felt a little more personal to me.
It did. She focuses on the output. She says she gained the ability to build my first agent.
That's a significant milestone, isn't it? My first agent.
It's a massive psychological threshold. It's the difference between talking about writing a novel and actually writing the first chapter. She crossed the line from consumer to creator, and she connects that directly to delivering greater value to our customers.
So again, the theme is value. It's not just a cool tech demo. It's something that helps the client.
Correct. But then there's a third story that I think is the most important one for us to dissect. Gaurav Ketterpal. He's the founder and CEO of Venshiv Technologies.
A CEO. So now we're looking at this from a leadership perspective.
Yes. And naturally, his testimonial touches on the career transformation aspect, how certifications helped him. But there is a very specific, crucial detail in what he says that we need to highlight.
I think I know what you're going to say. It's about the guardrails.
He mentions gaining the knowledge to leverage AI technology, including how to handle AI and data ethically.
Boom. Ethics. Why is that specific word showing up in a technical learning platform?
Because in the Agentforce era, ethics isn't just a philosophy class, it's a technical requirement. If you build an autonomous agent and you don't understand data privacy or bias or hallucinations, you aren't just building a bad bot, you're building a liability.
That is such a good point. You can't be a legend if your agent accidentally leaks customer data or insults a client.
Exactly. The fact that the source material highlights this quote suggests that becoming an agent blazer implies a sense of responsibility. You're being handed powerful tools. Part of being a pro is understanding the impact of what you build.
So we've got efficiency with Aaron, creation with Zarina, and ethics and leadership with Gaurav. It really covers the bases. But listening to this, I can still see a potential problem. Learning complex tech can be incredibly isolating. You get stuck on a bug, you don't know why it's not working, and you're just sitting there alone in your home office.
And that is where the network effect comes in. The source spends a significant amount of time discussing the Trailblazer community.
Is this just a message board? Like a support forum?
They describe it as an amazing network of millions. Millions, that's the population of a small country.
A country populated entirely by people trying to fix code.
Huh. Ideally, yes. But the function of this community is vital. It's about sharing knowledge, asking questions, and solving problems. And it's inclusive customers, partners, employees, product specialists. You aren't just staring at a screen, you're tapping into a global brain trust.
And they have specific subgroups too, right? I saw mentions of agent blazers and data blazers.
Yes. So if you're deep in the weeds of building an agent and you get stuck, there's a specific group of people on that exact same path. It's the difference between self-study and being part of a university campus. The social scaffolding is there to ensure you don't quit when it gets hard.
Speaking of university, let's talk about the diploma. Because at the end of the day, you can learn all you want, but sometimes you need that piece of paper to prove it to a hiring manager. The source mentions certifications.
Validation. It's critical in a tight job market. They list 60-plus Salesforce certifications.
60 plus. That's a comprehensive ecosystem.
It is. And the goal here, as the text puts it, is to validate your knowledge and grow your resume. If you walk into an interview and say, I know how to build AI agents, they might believe you. If you walk in with a globally recognized certification proving you have hands-on expertise, the conversation changes completely.
It's a differentiator. It opens the door to new possibilities, as they say.
And they make it incredibly hard to have excuses not to learn. They briefly mention Trailhead Go, which implies you can do this on mobile.
So, standing in line for coffee, riding the bus, waiting at the DMV, you could be earning points toward legend status.
You could be skilling up for the Agentforce era during your commute. It's the ultimate removal of friction. They are trying to make this accessible to absolutely everyone.
Okay, so let's zoom out. We've covered a lot of ground. We've defined the Agentforce era as the shift to autonomous agents. We've looked at the agent blazer concept, the architect of the new workflow. We've seen how Trailhead uses gamification and hands-on labs to make it stick. And we've heard from the people actually doing it.
If we connect all those dots, what is the core story here?
To me, the story is that the barrier to entry for the future of work has basically collapsed.
That's a strong way to put it, and I agree. The source is offering a zero-cost entry point, learn in-demand skills for free, to a field that is arguably the most important technological shift of our generation.
It's inviting everyone. It isn't saying engineers only.
Yeah.
It isn't saying PhDs only. It's saying, come be an agent blazer.
It's an invitation to agency.
I see what you did there.
But seriously, it acknowledges that companies are actively seeking people who can leverage the power of AI. They need people to turn vision into reality, and Trailhead is presenting itself as the bridge between where you are now and that need.
From champion to legend.
From champion to legend.
So, here is where we leave you today. We've unpacked the source, we've looked at the features, and we've seen the potential. But we should leave the listener with something to chew on.
Always.
We talked about autonomous agents handling everyday tasks. We talked about shifting from doing the work to transforming how the work gets done.
Right.
So, looking at your own career, or even just your own daily to-do list, if an AI agent can handle the doing, what is left for you?
That is the provocative question.
Are you ready to evolve your role from being the doer to being the architect?
Yeah.
Because if the Agentforce era is coming, or rather, if it's already here, the most valuable skill might not be the ability to work harder, but the ability to design the thing that does the work.
Transform how work gets done. That's the mantra.
Exactly. Go check out Trailhead if you want to see what being a legend feels like, and maybe take a look at that TDX registration if you want to save some cash.
Always good to save cash.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll catch you on the next one.
Goodbye, everyone.